by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
Feel like, Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel got a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They ain't thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go. Shift.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run with Foreman. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 26.
On play action, Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Down. 10-2 soft. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
Now Foreman. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football, but these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
On first down, Foreman. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
Mike 57, Mike 57. Go, go, go.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Steps nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this. SOS. 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 Go. Go. Run.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Easy. Gotta go, in and out. Let's go.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off.
Rush in. Left.
They'll run on first down. Austin. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Austin. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Block that. Check three. One set. Check Mike, 54.
On 3rd down, Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown and a field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he could break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
Here we go. 180. 54. Come to my work.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
56, Alpha. Check 56. So we got man. 56 to Mike.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And the ball is knocked out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage and then get on top of you in a heartbeat.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Check 43. Rock it.
A carry for Foreman. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. On 1st down, Carson. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson, he's got it complete to Perkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Tempo.
And he's got some space here. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 8. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a first and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Now a give right side. It's Austin. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now third and goal.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And an Eagle first down.
Watch the twist! Watch the twist! Check that! Recon, 132 fighter! Get ready!
They'll run on first down. Foreman, and a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, as the first half is winding down. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Now it's Carson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. Myers' kick is good. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Wilson now on third down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a first and 10 at the 45-yard line. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Green 80. 25, 54.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Go.
Kill.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Move 15.
Check. Watch 54. I'm coming out to you.
On first down, Carson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. Second and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Lucky.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Here we go. 54. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now the kicker fest continues. He's been good, though. Knocked through 4 of them now.
If you're the kickers for these two teams, you know what you're doing next week in practice?
Asking for a pay raise?
Yeah, besides that, you're walking into all the meeting rooms saying, you love us now, don't you? Now you love us because you need us, because that's all we've seen. Kickers scoring all the points.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, and now it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles have retaken the lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 5.
Makes the score Eagles 17.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Play action. Now Wilson. Catch made by Slayton. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about him getting it done? Proud of it.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch tight end. Tight right. Alert. Hey.
Now Wilson. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone, I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will not be denied. Into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Undercrush, undercrush. Alert, alert.
And he will not make it to the goal line here. So they'll be unable to bump this lead up to a field goal as it remains a 1-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here we go.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
At the 34-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Let's go, defense.
Here's Wentz to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively, pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Wentz. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside.
Out of bounds at midfield. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd down, here's an option right. And he's got room. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Here's Foreman. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Wentz now to throw. And that is incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun. Wentz. Hurts over the middle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Trey Flowers in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this one is right down Broadway. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Coming this way, here we go. No, off. 12, touch 50. Hey, 0. Right there, 54, right there.
They go read option with Wilson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
He's checking.
And some space here. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 9. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. As his guys have... Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When they'd line up, go ahead, and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Now a give, right side. It's Austin.
Check 50, check 50.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Pick the edge, pick the edge. Come.
They'll keep it on the ground. Austin. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13.
Get off the field, D. Push left.
Check 4, check 4.
Now a give, right side. It's Austin. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
What? 52's the mic.
All day, baby, all day.
Let's go.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. And what are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
And that's caught inside the 30. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
They'll have to be careful how they handle this.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Rip right.
Now Wilson. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Wilson now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's first down.
Hey. Right 52. You.
Here's Wilson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
53, Mike.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Wilson to throw. Now he'll escape to his right. And this is going to be intercepted. Cre'Von LeBlanc with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep him.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing is Wentz. Catch is made by Harry. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mike, here we go. 180.
Hey, watch the slant.
They'll run on first down. Foreman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Go.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
315. You ain't doing nothing.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Sam Martin now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now, part 1 is done, now part 2. Two minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
Check. Watch 54. Oh, you got deep?
Now what can Wilson do here in the OT? That's complete to Slayton. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
A gain of 13, it's a first down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Alert.
They'll keep it on the ground. Austin. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit into. Taken down to the backfield.
Taken down back at the 42.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down.
Switches. Let's go double count right here, double count. Let's go, 4 down. Hatch it. Crash.
A nice little juke. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. 20. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. And we will play on here in overtime. So it's his second missed field goal here. That wouldn't have ended the game, but it would have given him a leg up in OT.
And that's got to invigorate this defense. They did their part. Now it's time for their offense to put together a drive and seal the deal.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And the timeout coming in here with just 7 seconds remaining in the extra session. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Got to do better. 4 down. QB, come on. Check. 53. Check.
This time Wilson will throw. He'll find Metcalf. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
There. Mike, 53. 19. Mike.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
So into overtime and all the way to the end of overtime, they have a chance to win it. Couldn't convert on the field goal, and we end in the very rare tie.
Don't see it very often. We did discuss it as we began overtime that because it's a regular season game, we're going to play that last quarter, and if no one scores or however, if it finishes in a tie, that's it. But boy, how bad do you feel for him? The opportunity to win it with a field goal at the end, and it doesn't go through the pipes.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
just ran a check.